Every time I start filming, my throat gets very, very dry, and I don't know why. It's not dry any other time, just when I'm filming. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to give you guys a Nanowrimo update. We're about 1 week into Nanowrimo. And for those of you who don't know, National Novel Writing Month, all month in November. It's a challenge to write 50,000 words in the month of November. So if you write every single day, the minimum you have to write is 1,667 words to get 50,000 by the end of the month. So far I've had some days where I've written above the recommended goal, and I've had some days where I've been right at goal. Yesterday I was way under goal. I only wrote like 500 and I think maybe 550 words yesterday. It wasn't my biggest word day. So that put me just a little bit behind where I want to be, but I was pretty over writing yesterday. I was like, you know what? No, I couldn't think of any more words to write. What I'm finding is that it's a lot harder than I anticipated it to be, because I was like, yeah, sure, just write for a certain amount of time every single night. And what I've found is there are some times where I can get really wrapped up in a scene and I can write forever on it, no problem. And then I have these other times where it's just a lot harder. Like my brain starts to feel like goo. I can't string together words that I think sound halfway decent together. And by no means do I think anything I've written this month is good. That's what revision and editing is about after you've written your novel. And I get that, but there are some things I've written this month that I know are just very bad, and I put a lot of fillers in. So like, if I don't know a very good description, so if I'm like, you know what, I need more description for this person, but I can't think of how I want it to be worded right now, I just put in brackets, insert description here. Or, you know, even if like I write a sentence and I realize that maybe that sentence doesn't belong there, but later in the story, I just put in brackets, you know, consider putting this later in the story or something. Because what I've been doing on Scrivener is, like, I have my outline and everything, but I've just been doing a new blank page for each day of Nanowrimo so far. So at the end of the month, I'm gonna hate myself. I'm gonna have to go in and, you know, separate everything out into cohesive chapters and cohesive scenes and all of that. But I think it'll be okay. But as far as counting my words go, I find it a lot easier to count it all together as opposed to, you know, scattered and separated out. So I'm not allowing myself to go back to the other words. I'm just starting a whole new blank page and writing from there. And I think this could be problematic later on, but it's what's been working okay for me so far. So I'm just gonna keep doing that. That being said, I'm already seeing where I kind of want to go in at some point and flesh out my outline a little bit more. I've had some things that I didn't really think about when I made my outline that I was like, you know what? Realistically, you'd be running into more characters at this time. So I had to invent a couple of new characters and, you know, just some general backstory on them and a general physical description, and that's been okay, because they don't need fully fleshed out character descriptions at that point. They just need, I mean, a hair color, maybe an approximate height and size with very, very brief description of what they're wearing. So I'm not going into like huge detail, but I might be like, that person's wearing a t-shirt and cargo shorts, and then my reader's imagination can make up what they think that looks like, and that's fine. That's fine. But I just wanted to share with you guys that I'm finding that it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. I guess I didn't think it was going to be super easy because I haven't managed to stick to a solid writing routine in the past. So that being said, I think that this is very beneficial to me, and I'm seeing that I can, at the very least, like when NaNoWrimo is over, I should at least be able to commit to writing 500 to 1,000 words every single day. That shouldn't be a big deal. I'm finding right now for Nanowrimo, it's a lot of words, 1,667. I've had days where my words are over 2,000 words, and it just feels like a lot of words. And I'm running out of words to say anywhere else. I can't even string together sentences that make sense to tell you guys. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Definitely a lot harder. Definitely feeling like I probably should have taken some YouTube advice I'd seen. There are some other YouTubers I've watched that wrote themselves like notes ahead of time for certain days during Nanowrimo to help give them a, reminder, hey, you're doing this because of this, or keep moving because of this. And I really should have done something similar, but now I know for next year. It's just all a little bit daunting right now. I'm working with new characters. These aren't characters that had been around for a long time. The other series that I'm working on, that's more elaborate, and those characters have been with me for just so long. So I'm trying to work with new characters and finding their voices, and that's been a little bit difficult, and I've been trying to figure it all out as I go. I realized that I didn't maybe do as much prepping as I should have ahead of time. So for next year, I'll know to look back at this and say, hey, I need to do a lot more prepping. I need to spend a lot more time thoroughly fleshing out my outline. My bullet points that I have for my outline right now, they're not enough. I need probably a lot more detailed planning than I currently have, but that is okay. And I'm gonna keep writing. How is Nanowrimo going so far for all of you guys? Are you guys sticking to it? Are you guys meeting your word count goals? Please let me know in the comment box down below. I haven't been filming as much as I thought, maybe I'd want to, partially just because that involves not wearing pajamas, and I wear pajamas quite often when I'm in here writing, so I prefer to wear more clothes, I guess, when I'm on film. So with that, I have been posting more regular updates on my Twitter and my Instagram and even my Facebook page. My Instagram, I'll post that link online, and my Twitter. And then my Facebook, if you just search for LanieLarson, you should be able to find me just fine on there. I don't think I have a ton of followers on Facebook, but it is really easy for me to just go in and post onto there when I'm looking at things my family and friends have posted. That being said, Instagram and Twitter, I have been posting quite a bit too. I'll post my Twitter link down here somewhere too. With Twitter, it's actually one of my goals to use Twitter more, and I think I've been doing a pretty good job with that. Not as good at keeping up with what everyone else is necessarily posting on Twitter, but trying to get the hang of that. I do use my Instagram quite a bit because I do like to take pictures. So if you like cat pictures, my Instagram. I think that's all though. I think this is just going to be a really short update video. I hope you guys are all sticking with your writing routines. I hope that your novels are going well for you. And just remember that it's okay. It is okay if it doesn't look good right now. That is what revision and editing is for. If you're going through and you're doing your first draft right now, all you gotta do is get that draft down on paper, and then you can go back through and you can revise it. You can add more detail where you need to. You can take out detail where you need to. In revisions, that's when you can go in and sprinkle in any breadcrumbs for foreshadowing or anything that people need to know for later that you don't want to outright tell them. You can go in and you can sprinkle all of that in, or if you're going to have multiple books in a series, revision is where you can go in and kind of sprinkle it in. So don't be afraid if it's not in your rough draft, or if you think about it later, just take some notes. I use my notes app on my cell phone all the time. I leave myself random notes like, hey, this would be a cool idea, or I had a dream about this, or whatever the case may be. I use that all the time. So it's okay. It's okay right now if it seems a little bit messy, if it seems a little bit confusing, that can all be fixed later. And I'm also saying this because I also need this advice, I think, for myself, but that can all be fixed later. And right now you just got to get that first draft on paper. So happy first week of Nanowrimo, moving into the second week here, and that's exciting. It's very exciting. Also a little bit terrifying because there's still a whole 3 weeks left to go. So, but we can do this. We can do this together, guys. Comment down below though and let me know how you're doing on Nanowrimo. How are you doing with hitting your word counts? Is it easier than you thought it would be? Is it harder than you thought it would be? Let me know. All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks. Bye.